This is very inspiring because I was one of those people, I was all into the space race and then we just walked away from it. And now it's back and all these kids are here doing this because of you and you're their inspirations. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got an incredible team.
That's what I love is the passion that you have, because most people in your financial position, they would have yachts and racing cars and places on the Caribbean or whatnot, but you put it all into this, don't you?
Yeah, I live here. I actually rent a house from SpaceX in the little village over there.
Yeah.
I spent about half my time over the past 2 years just getting this place built. This is intended to be the first ship to attempt to reach orbit. There's so much new technology in here, there's a good chance the whole thing just blows up. No, when I say rapid, it's got to be rapid and complete reuse. Okay. It lands, you refill the propellant, and you take off. Right. Or do we want to get out there and understand the nature of reality? There are grander things that we should be considering than the pettiness of everyday life.
Right. No.
I don't care about patents.
Oh, okay.
At Tesla, we open source all our patents. Anyone can use them.
That's what I mean. So
patents are for the weak.
Yeah, you share the. There you go.
And, you know, the problem is like patents are generally used as a blocking technique.
Right.
They're like using like landmines in warfare.
Right.
So they don't actually help advance things. They just stop others from following you. And most patents are BS.
Yeah. In this video, as Jay Leno hangs with Elon Musk at Starbase and talks engineering, manufacturing, Mars and more, Elon Musk has once again placed his gigantic balls on the chopping block by lending a helping hand to people desperately in need at great risk to his personal safety. But please, don't tell Senator Karen the Robert Reich or any else of Elon Musk's haters. And before we get into it, if you want to instantly unlock over 100 exclusive videos plus my 10-year Tesla stock price targets and loads of other perks, including optional access to my Tesla valuation model, join our growing community of thousands of supporters on Patreon with the link in the pinned comment. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon and investment themed merch in the merch store. First, let's talk about Elon Musk's balls, which I can guarantee are significantly larger than yours. This tweet from Elon yesterday. Starlink connecting schools in the Amazon. As we know, according to the morons who are trying to divide people and direct hate at Elon Musk, this self-serving, greedy billionaire who doesn't do his fair share is a leech off society, clearly doing another thing in his own self-interest by creating a company and a service, Starlink, to provide internet to underserved parts of the world. What a terrible human being. P.S. Tax the rich. Some foul-mouthed guy with 3 first names replying to this tweet. Epic. I spent time in the Amazon a few years ago. Internet was a joke, as expected. No bandwidth, constant dropouts, etc. People underestimate the impact of high-speed, reliable internet in isolated communities. Access to information enables people to lift themselves out of poverty. And a brief follow-up. Also spent time in isolated mountain villages in Peru where there was no, I repeat, no internet access at all. What a difference Starlink will make. And this is not where the story ends. This is where it begins. Elon responded to this tweet succinctly, one word, exactly. Tesla owners Silicon Valley. People who weren't able to get access to education will now have it. This is huge. Elon responding to this tweet as well. Education is the path out of poverty and internet access enables education. And now the story continues. For those who don't know, until extremely recently, I had almost every notification off on Twitter except new tweet notifications from people I was following. Because I'm smart enough to realize that social media is extremely addictive and I don't want to be wasting my time reading notifications, getting my dopamine hit and going round and round and round in circles. In fact, I went for a 4-year stretch that only ended when I returned to Australia from overseas travel, in which I had all notifications disabled for literally everything. But as an experiment, I thought I'd turn on my notifications on Twitter, and we are getting to a point, ladies and gentlemen. I've been paying a little bit more attention to replies, retweets, tags, and all this kind of stuff. And I noticed after this exchange with Elon Musk, for some reason yesterday, endless torrents of tweets. People from Iran begging for help, begging for Starlink internet access, claiming that the government is cutting off internet and communications, trying to suppress the truth of what's going on the ground in Iran at this point in time. For those that don't know, it appears the shit is currently hitting the fan, and that's putting it lightly. I'm sure just about everybody watching is aware of this, due to the knock-on effects of some wonderful ideas in a Bronze Age book that many people believe to be a legitimate source of information, wisdom, and morality. Many people in Iran reasonably believe themselves to be oppressed. And that is putting it lightly. A recent event has caused this shit to absolutely hit the fan. I'm not on the ground there, so I can't tell you for sure what's happening. But the number of people that I saw yesterday pleading with Elon Musk, help the people of Iran, the government's cutting off internet, they don't want people to see what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Please give us access to Starlink, Elon, please, please, please. I saw many hundreds, if not thousands of these tweets. Now, if you have a short memory, it wasn't too long ago before Elon Musk, the team at SpaceX and Starlink actually enabled Starlink internet access in Ukraine shortly after the Russian invasion and began shipping hundreds, if not thousands, of Starlink terminals to allow these people to have communications access. Because one of the first things Russia did, as just about any nation would do when waging war on another, is to disable communications. As Elon has commented in the past, when asked, what if you're not allowed to enable internet access here? Elon's response, what are they going to do? Shake their fist at the sky? Next minute, Starlink's turned on and it's probably made a major difference in the war in Ukraine. Almost immediately afterward, Elon Musk began receiving thinly veiled threats from Russian authorities, including people involved in the space program, putting his own personal safety at great risk for the better good. But please, let's ensure this inconvenient truth remains undiscovered by the likes of Karen the Robert Reich, and so on. After all, if they can't paint Elon Musk as a greedy billionaire who's only out for himself, the game's up. Many people became gravely concerned for Elon's personal safety after Starlink internet was enabled in Ukraine. But Elon's the kind of guy who isn't afraid of death, although he doesn't have a death wish. He also has gigantic balls and an even larger heart, so he'll do whatever it takes and whatever he believes to be right, even if it puts a target on his back. And here we are once again, Elon Musk putting his balls on the chopping block, doing something good for the world at great risk to his own personal safety. This tweet overnight from Secretary Antony Blinken, long story short, we took action to advance internet freedom and the free flow of information in Iran, blah, 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 blah. Next minute, Elon Musk activating Starlink. If what we're hearing from the ground in Iran is true, and assuming it is, but hey, you never know. The government's knocking out internet connections, stopping the people of Iran from sharing what the is actually going on. Many are pleading for help. Friends, family, people out of the country. Elon, help, help, help. The people of Iran need internet access. Please help turn Starlink on and so on. Next minute, few phone calls, Starlink activated in Iran. This is one of the many reasons I respect and admire Elon Musk. He has huge balls, an equally large brain, and an even bigger heart. The guy really, genuinely cares about having a significant positive impact on the world, doing good for humanity. How many of you watching genuinely believe that you have balls even 1/10 the size of Elon Musk's? Would you go out on a limb? Would you risk your own personal safety knowing full well pissing off Russia, then Iran? I mean, seriously? Exactly. The people of Earth are lucky to have Elon Musk. And I suspect it won't be too long before I'm also able to extend that comment to the people of Mars are lucky to have Elon Musk. What a perfect segue to head over to some highlights from Jay Leno's recent visit to Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. As always, there's a link in the description to the full video. Clocks in at about 45 minutes, although it's not all Elon content. I've just captured a few relevant highlights, and there are even some comments relating to Tesla. If history is anything to go by, there's an extremely high chance the advertising revenue from this video will be claimed by Jay Leno's garage, no problem. However, it is also possible it may get blocked in some regions and or completely deleted from the interweb. So if you come back tomorrow and the video is somehow vanished, you know what happened.
Even if we were sure Earth would be fine forever, do you want to be here forever? Do we have a spurt of adventure? Do we want to go out there and see the rest of the universe? Do we want to find out what's out there and maybe meet some alien civilizations? And if so, we need to be a multi-planet species. That's the next step. And then we can go from there to being a multi-stellar species.
Elon Musk. And he's giving us an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of a spectacular SpaceX Starbase facility.
You built this whole thing in 2 years.
Yeah.
He'll show us how he's turning his sci-fi dreams of human life on Mars into an incredible and attainable reality.
We're making one of these every 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's not all, because Elon's innovations have also made the auto industry even more exciting. Now, things may get a little dangerous.
There's so much new technology in here, there's a good
Right.
chance the whole thing blows up.
Elon Musk and I have some history. He came by the garage with his very first electric roadster way back when.
6,831 batteries, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Now, when he's not upending the auto industry with high-performance electric cars and trucks, busy building tunnels below cities or hosting SNL, he's over at SpaceX, pushing the limits of outer space and technology. In fact, thanks to their tireless pursuit of reusable rockets, life on Mars may come much sooner than we think, especially if Elon has anything to say about it.
This is very inspiring, because I was one of those people, I was all into the space race, and then we just walked away from it. And now it's back, and all these kids are here doing this because of you, and you're their inspirations. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got an incredible team, and we're making great progress here. We're trying to achieve the holy grail of rocketry, which is a fully and rapidly reusable rocket. No one has ever made a fully reusable orbital rocket, and never one that could be rapidly reflown like an aircraft. Getting to space is easy,
Right.
but getting to orbit is 100 times harder than getting to space.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I love is the passion that you have, because most people in your financial position, they would have yachts and racing cars and places on the Caribbean and whatnot, but you put it all into this, don't you?
Yeah, I live here. I actually rent a house from SpaceX in the little village over there.
Yeah.
I spent about half my time over the past 2 years just getting this place built.
Jay Leno makes an interesting and very relevant observation there. Most people in Elon Musk's situation, yachts, private islands, endless holidays, partying and so on. Not Elon. The guy's still slaving away, trying to have a positive impact on humanity. Elon Musk is the literal antithesis of the way he's being painted by the bottom-feeding, clout-chasing, hateful, swamp creatures, corrupt politicians, directing an absolutely undeserved hate stream at Elon Musk, painting a false narrative for their own personal, financial, and political gain. P.S. Tax the rich, and don't forget to forgive my student debt, because I don't like to take personal responsibility for my decisions, because I'm a victim. I'm oppressed. The world's out to get me. It's not my fault. It's unfair.
Now this is the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
So this is our Starship. This is what goes all the way to orbit. This sits on top of the booster.
Right.
The ship is about 165 feet tall.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has any idea how big this is.
Yeah, it's 30 foot in diameter on the inside.
Yeah, because when you see it on TV, you're watching it from a half a mile away.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sending the Empire State Building into outer space, basically here.
Yeah, it's a gigantic building. In fact, the payload area has more volume than a 747.
But amazing design aside, the real magic at SpaceX is in the manufacturing.
You're the only person I've heard talk eloquently about the actual manufacturing, because that's the hard part. Anybody can draw a rocket.
Yeah, manufacturing is by far harder than the design. I mean, there's an old saying, it's like 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration.
Right.
I think it might actually be 99.9%
Yeah,
perspiration. Actually, in America, I'd say we underweight the value of manufacturing.
Right.
Manufacturing is extremely important, fundamental, and a very difficult thing to do. Even making prototypes of the rocket is easy compared to manufacturing a whole bunch of them.
Right.
So we're gearing up to make one of these per month, and then within a few years, be making one of these every 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
It's hard to take this seriously. I mean, he is serious and it is going to happen, but it's just so fucking ridiculous. Imagine producing a Starship every 3 fucking days. These things are enormous and they're complicated. It's absurd. Absolutely fucking bananas. But Elon's right. It needs to happen. Rapid, high volume production of fully and rapidly reusable rockets necessary to colonize Mars. It has to happen. It's just so fucking ridiculous.
So if you've got 1,000 ships, if you're able to put 100 people on that ship, that'll be 100,000 people every 2 years. And so it'd take you 20 years to get to 1 million people. I figure, I don't know, about 1 million people is probably what you need to create a self-sustaining city on Mars.
Well, that's why I love you. Always think big.
The Starship is 2.5 times the thrust of a Saturn V.
Wow.
Saturn V was the largest rocket ever to reach orbit, and this is 2.5 times more power than that. And one a month, and they're meant to be reusable. We're talking about something that ultimately, as a system, is thousands of times more capable than the Saturn V program. This is intended to be the first ship to attempt to reach orbit. There's so much new technology in here, there's a good chance the whole thing just blows up. But we have another ship behind that, another booster behind that. If the first one doesn't work, we'll fix the issue and we'll launch again. So by the time this is stacked on the launch pad, we'll have a second ship waiting.
And how many of these would you test before you do human cargo?
I think we'd have hundreds of flights before we did
Oh,
people.
okay,
Yeah,
hundreds, okay.
Yeah, probably hundreds.
But when you're building one every 3 days, that's going to happen pretty quick.
And each one that we build can be launched daily,
Wow.
if not multiple times a day. The cost per ton of payload to Mars is over $1 billion. In order for a self-sustaining city to be created, we need to improve that by probably 10,000 times.
So 100,000 per ton.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that would be an improvement. How do you get that cost down?
Reusability is essential. That's
Right,
the key to
yeah,
it.
Yeah, okay. How much rebuildability is necessary after one use?
No, when I say rapid, it's got to be rapid and complete reuse. It lands, you refill the propellant, and you take off.
You guys understand how absolutely insane this is, right? We're talking about a launch. The booster then comes back to Earth, lands, is refueled, and goes again, and then again, and again, and again, and again.
And speaking of parallel parking, another crucial technological innovation SpaceX has developed is a gargantuan two-armed tower, affectionately known as Mechazilla.
In order to achieve a full and rapid reusability with the rocket, we need to be able to place the rocket onto the launch stand quickly,
Right.
or place the booster on, then place the ship on top of the booster, and then when they come back, we need to catch the booster with the giant Mechazilla arms and put it back on the launch stand, and then catch the ship and put it back on the booster. So we built this giant Mechazilla tower to be able to lift and catch these gigantic rocket parts. It's never been done before, so I think it'll work, but it might take a few tries.
Serious question. Please let me know in the comments below. What do you guys and girls think? Did this truly insane, absolutely ridiculous concept effectively catching the booster with the launch tower with 2 chopsticks? Mechazilla? Was that an idea that SpaceX's engineers came up in an ordinary, waking, regular state of consciousness, or perhaps an altered state of consciousness? I'm just asking the question, because I can't possibly imagine a scenario in which somebody who wasn't tripping some serious balls would come up with such an absolutely insane yet brilliant idea. If they pull this off, and I'm sure it'll take a few attempts, but this is just ridiculous. I love it.
And Elon's optimism is not unfounded, because for every SpaceX misstep, and there's been a few, they've had a far greater number of successes. Like creating the first privately funded liquid propellant rocket to reach orbit, the first private company to launch orbit and recover a spacecraft, the first vertical takeoff and propulsive landing of an orbital rocket, and the first private company to send astronauts into orbit, among many, many others.
But Tesla will absolutely never achieve autonomy, and the strategy that Tesla is pursuing to achieve autonomy, completely different to literally everyone else attempting to solve the same problem, is obviously the wrong strategy. Everyone else is right. And also, the Tesla humanoid robot is a joke. It's a stock pump. It'll never exist and it'll never work anyway. What a dumb idea. Just stick to your vehicles, Elon.
I'd say life on Mars is difficult, dangerous. People might die. It's just fundamentally, are we going to become a multi-planet species or not?
Right.
Even if we were sure Earth would be fine forever,
Right.
do you want to be here forever? I think we want to be a space-faring civilization.
Right.
It's not like let's escape to Mars. Do we have a spirit of adventure? Do we want to go out there and see the rest of the universe? Do we want to find out what's out there and maybe meet some alien civilizations? Do we want science fiction to not be fiction forever? And if so, we need to be a multi-planet species. That's the next step. And then we can go from there to being a multi-stellar species and get to other star systems. I disagree with the notion of rationalizing becoming a multi-planet species with advancements on Earth. It is good in and of itself. It is important that we do this because eventually there's something will do us in.
Right.
It might be in 100 years, it might be in 1,000,000 years, but something will do us in. What it comes down to is, do we want civilization to surround on Earth until eventually it is extinguished and all life is extinguished?
Right.
Or do we want to get out there and understand the nature of reality? There are grander things that we should be considering than the pettiness of everyday life.
Right.
Facts.
It's the highest chamber pressure engine ever done operationally. By any standard, the most advanced engine ever made.
And how quickly can you turn out one of these?
We make them one a day.
Yeah.
We use 300 series stainless steel.
Is that something you patent?
No, we don't really patent things.
Oh, really? No.
I don't care about patents.
Oh, okay.
At Tesla, we open source all our patents. Anyone can use them.
That's what I mean. So you
Patents are for the weak.
Yeah, you share the. There you go.
For those unaware, it was 2014 when Tesla open sourced their patents under a blog post, "All our patent belong to you." If you don't get the nerdy reference, not going to explain that one. This was the biggest swinging dick moment in the history of Tesla as a company, and there's been many. I've been following the Tesla story since pre-IPO, and this was a watershed moment. Such a bullish signal. How confident is this company in their ability to innovate and to maintain an unassailable lead over the rest of the industry? And more importantly, how committed to their mission statement. This is a moment that many of the Elon haters, Tesla's a fraud, Elon's a fraud, blah, 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 should have taken a moment to ask themselves, hang on a fucking minute, why on earth would this guy who I personally believe is a liar and a fraud and a con man and blah, 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 why would this company be giving away all their technology unless they actually genuinely want to accomplish their stated mission, which was and still is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy? Why would they give everyone access to their technology? Hey, we promise we won't sue you as long as you use this in good faith. Here's all our shit. Please, just go make your own electric vehicles and compete with us because that will achieve our mission. This was such a show of confidence. And I don't think most people understood. It went over most people's heads. What the fuck are they doing? This I don't understand. But the few smart investors who really understood what was going on realized, holy fuck, if they're willing to open source their technology, they know they're going to be out competing, out innovating everyone else on the planet. This would be corporate suicide were they not confident they would forever maintain an unassailable lead. Yet for most, this was either a non-event or just super puzzling. And I completely agree with Elon's sentiment. Patents are for the weak. If you are weak, if you're not confident in your ability to innovate and maintain that pace of innovation, to compete in a very competitive landscape, then sure, you can use patents. Because you're a little bitch and you're scared of being out-competed. You want an unfair advantage. It just goes to show the difference in company cultures. What other company on the planet would do the same thing that Tesla did and open source all their technology just as the EV market was really starting to explode and go, hey guys, look, here's our shit. Use it. Go for your life. We just want to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy.
You know, the problem is like patents are generally used as a blocking technique.
Right.
They're like using like landmines in warfare.
Right.
So they don't actually help advance things. They just stop others from following you and most patents are BS.
Any lessons from Tesla that you adopted to SpaceX?
Well, the automotive industry is very good at manufacturing, and the rocket industry is good at advanced materials and making things light. So that's where the cross-pollination is most useful, is taking manufacturing techniques from automotive, applying them to rockets, taking advanced materials and design from rockets and applying them to cars.
But remember, Tesla is just a car company. Being able to cross-pollinate, leverage some of the incredible advanced material science going on at SpaceX to bring that into vehicles, nah, that's irrelevant. Tesla's just like every other automotive manufacturer, and if you disagree with me, you're just an Elon D rider. I think the moral of this story, to sum up this video in a few words, to describe Elon Musk simply, big balls, big brain, big heart, big impact. I, for one, am very thankful to be alive at the same time as Mr. Musk. Hope you guys and girls have enjoyed the video. And lastly, don't forget, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by joining Patreon with the card in the corner or the link in the pinned comment. You'll instantly unlock over 150 exclusive videos, instant up-to-date access to my Tesla stock price target, and loads of other content and perks. So, I'll see you over there. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel and instantly unlock over 100 exclusive videos, plus my 10-year Tesla stock price targets and loads of other perks, including optional access to my Tesla valuation model, join our growing community of thousands of supporters on Patreon with the link in the pinned comment. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. Please let me know your thoughts on today's video in the comments below, and click the card on screen now to watch the next video.